Hey guys, Chris the Bali Guy here. And in today's video, that's funny. I don't know where this just came from, but this is the end of a broken off T6. I don't know how it just got here, but it just magically appeared. So, anyways, this is my Balisong Collection video of November 2025, and it's my 1,000 subscriber special. I know many of you used to watch my old channel. Some of you are new. I don't remember the subscriber count exactly I got to, but I want to say it was above 6,000 I had. So I've been slowly just making a video here and there, hoping to make my way back to where I was. But here we are, and here's a Balisong Collection video because I know everyone loves these. All right, so let's start from the beginning. So I can't show you the very first Balisongs that I had. Now, I'm not talking the real ones. I'm talking the Lego ones I used to make. And I used to have, I wish I had pictures of them, I'd show y'all, but I used to have Lego Balisongs that I made, and those were the ones I took to school, and they were really wide and really hard to flip, but being able to flip on those super, super light ones made it really easy to transition to a metal one. So, I couldn't find one of them, and it's making me really upset, but it was one of those really cheap trainers with channel handles with the slots all the way down. It was made of like zinc or pot metal or something. For the life of me, I swear I was flipping it not that long ago, and I just cannot find it right now. It went missing for years, and it turned up, and I've been holding on to it lately. And I checked everywhere I could possibly imagine it would be, and I just could not find it. Unless it's literally right here. Is it? I don't think it is. No, I don't think it's that simple. Oh, unfortunately, I am unable to find my first, one of my first actual trainers. But many of you know what those look like. If I remember, I'll put one on screen, and y'all get to see it. But I eventually got my first real Balisong, and that was the Bradley Chimera 11. That's this right here. The Bradley Chimera 11 was in a dying age of Balisongs. It was in an era when Bradley was going bankrupt, I think it was. I could be wrong, but this was like their last Balisong that they were supposedly going to make. And I don't think it ended up being their last Balisong, but it was back when the market, I want to say it was like 2013, 2014 when I got the Chimera. It was back in a time when there wasn't really a whole lot of good options. You had the Chimera, and then you had the 51, and those were the cheapest entry options into a Balisong that didn't suck. That one that was built well and would last a long time. One built with good hardware and all that. So this knife is man, I remember cutting a good bit of my pinky off. You definitely want to make sure that your safe handle is not too tight, because what happened is that I went to open it, and it didn't want to swing out from the safe handle, and it caught on the tang pen, and it forced the blade out then, and my pinky just grazed the tanto tip, and it got me good. I really need to sharpen this thing again, but I forget what blade steel this actually has. Is it S35 VN? I know it's a Sandvik steel. I forget what it's called, but I remember really wanting the black version because I knew it wasn't going to rust as bad. And I just remember everyone talking online about how, like, oh, if you get this, it's going to rust. If you get this, it's going to rust. It's like, put oil on it and you'll be fine. I hate that people exaggerate so much all the time. It's like, you could have just said, you know, it'll rust, but if you just put oil on the blade, it'll be fine. Like, do people just neglect everything they own? It's not hard to just oil your blade and keep it from rusting. And I remember people with the Archangel and the carbon steel, they were like, oh, you got to wax the blade to keep it from rusting. Like, goodness gracious. I don't think it's actually that bad. Oh, my goodness. But I've flipped this Balisong so much you can actually see there is a O-ring. Focus on the T-latch, just so it has enough bite. And it's still not incredibly tight with the O-ring, but it's good enough. But This was my first real Balisong, my first real knife. It's still holding up. It still cuts things. It still flips. I don't flip it a whole lot because I'd rather keep it in good condition because it was my first ever Balisong. I will never sell this thing. It's super thin, and I remember people also saying how thin it was, and I really didn't understand why people said it was so thin. And the older Chimeras, which I still want to get, I want to get one of, like, either the 3, the 5, or the 7. I really want one. Had thicker handle slabs, and it was just a little wider, and those, I flipped one at Blade Show, and they're just a lot better than this. And I understand why people hated this because of how skinny it was. And this was like a last production run. This was like just getting all the inventory off the shelf because I think Bradley was going bankrupt. But for my first Balisong, I think it was like $130. Not all that bad. I really did enjoy my time flipping this, and it's one of my Balisongs I'll keep forever. I'll hand down to hopefully kids one day. But yeah, and it started my love for Tanto blades because I just really liked the straight edge design, you know, just 2 straight edges. It's so simple. But we're going to put this here. Make sure I'm in frame. We're going to move that over. I'm going to put my T on this side. My light is like facing from that direction, so I have shadows this way. All right, so that's the edge of the frame. I have my camera mounted in a really interesting position. It's on a tripod. It's like way up over here, and it's on a tripod I have mounted on something that's holding it up, but it's at an angle going down, and it's a tripod. Man, this thing is flexing so much. I feel bad for this poor tripod. I really want to get ceiling mounts for my phone so I can use my camera vertically like this, so I don't have to sit in front of behind a tripod. But I don't have my 32 anymore, and I really regret getting rid of it, but I did have a 32 at one point, and that came at the same time as this, which I could never get rid of. This is my Benchmade model 1501 in blue, and I had it with the black blade at one point, and I sent it to Benchmade, and I told them I wanted a stonewash blade because I didn't expect the black blade to, you know, the coating to chip so bad, or to scratch off so bad, and the best they could do was give me a normal, the normal satin semi-stone wash blade, and it kind of makes it look like one of the clones that doesn't have that, you know, the stone washing that Benchmade put on there. But yeah, this Balisong is one I've flipped a lot. It's probably one I've flipped the most. I really like the 51. I've had multiple 51s over the years. I used to have a fly tie 51 at one point. But yeah, the 51, and I just cleaned this one, took it apart, and I rotated the Zen pin so that, and I made a whole video on that, but I rotated it so the flat spots weren't up against the tank pin, so it just reestablished my handle distance, because before the handles were touching. But again, the 51 was like the secondary option. I really wanted it because it was the next cheapest Balisong I was ever going to get. And it's, oops, dropped it. The 51 is honestly a great flipper in my book. Now, by today's standards, by what people flip, it's, goodness gracious, it's not that great. This thing has seen concrete before. Like, it's amazing how well the G10 holds up. Now, I wasn't like intentionally flipping it over concrete, but I've dropped it a few times on rough surfaces, and the bottoms of the handles are a little bit, you got a little nick here or there, and the safe handle's been beaten alive by the latch that for some reason they decided, oh yeah, let's make a latch that springs open and locks closed, which, like, I get it, but like, it still taps. Like, it doesn't get in the way, but it's still so annoying. Like, why did Benchmade have to do that? But it's been like that, and it's history, and would I ask for it differently? Yes, but I suppose it's better balanced than if they had put the spring latch from the 42. But yeah, that's my blue 51, and I really like this one. I actually have new handle scales on this because at one point I damaged mine, and I sent it to Benchmade, and they said, we'll only do this one time. And they did it for me, and this was still during the production of the 51. They made me new handle scales. and they put them on there. And they said, we're not doing this again, but because you're a customer, we appreciate your business. We'll do it this one time. And I was like, thank you very much. So yeah, that's these handle scales are actually probably one of the newest handle scales on a Blue 51 you can find, because they were literally made brand new after the production ended of this knife. It's a fun fact about that one. So we'll put that one right here. Next up, I'm kind of going in chronological order of the Balisongs I've gotten over history. At one point, I decided to make a Balisong. I'll throw this in there while we're talking about it. So there's this thing. And some of you may have never seen this before. I don't think I've shown it on this channel, but this is a Balisong that I made. I just wanted to try. Me and my dad made it. It's made out of a single piece of brass that we cut up and made spacers for. And all things considered, it could have turned out worse. Now, don't ever try to do a chaplain on it, because it's just bad. Like, I can flip it, but it's about as bad as people describe the 53. Like, it's pretty bad. And I never even bothered rounding the handles. It is so unbelievably blade biased, and I put the handles so far apart that it kind of made them suck. But maybe one day I'll try again. But, and the Zen pins like to loosen out a little bit. They're just kind of free floating in there. They're nails, but they don't come out all the way. So they'll move around in there, but not a whole lot. But all things considered, this could have turned out a lot worse. The blade's made out of a saw blade. It's saw blade steel, and honestly, it's not the worst thing I've ever touched. It's one of the worst, but it's not the worst. My spacers in the end rotate because I don't have my screws tightened down. These were the only sex bolts you could get from Lowe's, so it's all that we could get. It was made all from off-the-shelf stuff and just a random piece of brass, but it's not even sharp, by the way. It's completely dull. But that is my homemade Balisong. I used to have a lot of BB Barfly Balisongs. I don't really have my original BB Barflies, and I wish I did, but you can see them on my old videos. But let me go on my next Balisong, and that'd be my Alpha Beast. Now, this is now my 4th blade on the Alpha Beast, and we'll get to that in a bit. If you've been keeping up with my videos, you'll know why. But I did have a Bowie on this same Bowie. This one's just dark wash, whatever you want to call it, acid wash. These handles are my original Alpha Beast handles, and if you want to look closely, you can see just how war-torn they are. Man, I just realized I have all this static in the background. Much better. Let me do the zoom. I've certainly gotten some use out of this Alpha Beast. But that's what an Alpha Beast is made for. This thing has eaten concrete for breakfast many days. It's just so unbelievably durable. I used to have the scimitar blade that came on it, and then at Blade Show, someone I can't even find online anymore wanted to trade blades, so I did. I got the alt blade because he had the alt blade. He had a rounded spine on his, and my blade was, I had the very first 3.0. So these handles are the very first 3.0 handles. And I kind of wish I never traded my blade, but at the same time, like, it's whatever. I don't have my latch anymore, unfortunately, and I broke 2 of the bolts back here, and I've just never touched it since. I've never loosened them or anything. But yeah, this is my original Alpha Beast minus the blade being the Bowie. I wish they made a Tanto Alpha Beast. That would have been awesome. I guess that's what the replicant was for. I got the Flipper replicant before, and it just wasn't my thing. it was nice. Don't get me wrong. It was just too similar to the Alpha Beast, in my opinion. Like, people said it was like between the Alpha Beast and the 51. Like, it was that. And, like, it was okay, but, like, I just didn't care that much for it. I just really didn't. And maybe I'll try it again one day and I'll like it. I've always wanted one, but I've never owned an actual replicant. I've owned a clone, but I've flipped real ones, and maybe they were just beaten up at Blade Show and all that, but this is my original Alpha Beast. The blade is just not the original blade, and I've certainly got a lot of good use out of this Balisong. It's a shame people don't really care for these as much anymore. I mean, they were made by flippers for flippers, and they're honestly great Balisongs, in my opinion. These are. Oh. Next up, let's talk about a Blade Show Balisong I got. Now, this is it. Little tiny keychain Balisong. And this has honestly just been in my safe for a long time. I forgot that it existed entirely until I went looking for that other trainer I mentioned. But little keychain Balisong. It's certainly exactly what it sounds like. It's a little keychain Balisong. It's legal in California too. Imagine that. Let's see if I can. Come on. Oh, it's not sharp at all either. Goodness gracious. Come on, latch. The latch is like too wide for the safe handle. It like grips when it's in there. So if it catches, it like won't release. Oh, come on. There we go. Keychain Balisong. Little fun one. Not a whole lot of history on this. It's a CCC that'll never break because it's so small and lightweight. It just can't. You don't flip it enough to break it. There's not even washers in this thing. It's just 4 pieces of metal pinned together if you count the latch. And the latch actually holds shut because it's made with bad tolerances. But yeah, that's my mini Balisong. Next up is when I started getting BB Barflies, and this one's really rusty. I apologize, it looks so bad. Let me wipe that off. But this is the 3.0, the Pro V2, I mean. I really need to clean that blade up. This thing has seen some abuse too, and I really need to clean this thing properly because when it's clean, it just bounces so much, and it's so much fun. But, man, I've gotten so much flipping out of this. Man, it's so covered in grease. I gotta clean this thing so bad. But the BB Barfly Pro V2, it's just one of those super good flippers. Really good entry-level Balisong. If you can, I think they make V3s now. I don't remember, but this thing keeps getting covered in grease every time I rotate it. So I don't want to cover my hands in grease and get the next knives covered in grease, but I used to have a Pro V1, I think, with the other shape blade, and this is a fix. He fixed this now. He changed the steel to where it doesn't rust, and that's good. But yeah, this is good quality, and I have number 27 serial number. Really good size trainer. I really like it. And yeah, I'd recommend any BB Barfly product to anyone, unless you're talking about the OGs, and those are just loud. You just got to know what you're getting into, but they're still good. And then next, I think I got the Firefly. Yeah, the BB Firefly. Now this one is also a blast to flip around. I don't remember if the Firefly is on bushings or not, but it certainly has good tolerances for what it is. Like there's no tap at all. Like, it has a little bit of play, but it's not enough to give it tap. And yeah, I've honestly really enjoyed having this one too. I need to clean it too. They sound so nice and flip so much better when they're not completely caked in dirt on the inside. What would you, oh my goodness. Could you imagine? It would just flip better if it wasn't covered in dirt. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? But yeah, they're functional bottle openers too. I've used them a good bit. They're a lot of fun. They really are a lot of fun. and they're really good quality flippers. I think it's the best product made, honestly, in the Balisong community, because from what I know, all of the materials come from Canada. They're all made in Canada. They're just good quality products. They're just good. And I love me a BB Barfly. Next up, we have the Superfly. And these are all, I'm trying to put all this stuff in the order in which I got it. 410 stainless steel, titanium handles. This thing is great. I need to tighten it and clean it, but genuinely, probably my favorite of the BB Barflies. It's built more like a traditional Balisong in dimensions. It's got brass spacers in the back. It's just everything that you'd want, really. It's a real Balisong and feel. And if I was to get a blade for any of these, I'd want it for this one, because it's so nice. I love this thing. It still flips fantastic. Mine's a little loose though. I need to tighten it and clean it. But this one I do know runs on bushings, and I really enjoy it. Really well made product. It's CNC'd from titanium on the handles, and the blade is CNC'd steel, I believe, 410. But yeah, this is definitely up there. One of my favorites to flip as far as a BB Barfly is concerned. And this is genuinely, like, when I got this for a while, I was debating whether it was better than the Alpha Beast at flippability or not, because it's just a little bit longer, just barely at the end. The blade is just slightly shorter, but it doesn't really make a difference. It's just such a good flipper. It's such a good Balisong. I still highly recommend this. It's amazing. And next up, I got the Barracuda V2. And I haven't gotten a whole lot of flipping time with this, but I have flipped it a considerable amount. I know that sounds contradictory, but trust me. I've flipped it a good amount. I just haven't gotten to give it the treatment I give all the others I normally get. But man, this thing is so nice. And at first, I honestly wasn't like super down with the balance and the length, and I had to get used to it. But once I did, it became like a machine of absolute flippability, because it's a very neutral flipping design, and I've never really been a fan of neutral Balisongs. I've always preferred to have weight at the end, but this thing just flips amazing when you get used to it, and it's kind of hard. I'm having to hold my elbow up just to flip over the table, so I'm kind of sucking at doing this, but genuinely, Barracuda, one of the better BB Barflies, I'll tell you that. If I had to put them in order of which one I would want over the other, it's genuinely hard because they're all so good. And I also really like the forward-facing bottle opener design, because I really don't like just twisting sideways on a Balisong like this. It just makes me uncomfortable with the pivots, and like when I break something. When you use it like this, I know it's harsher on the bottle cap and all that if you wanted to keep it, I know, but as far as like actually getting the bottle off without harming the Balisong or the pivots or anything, I prefer this design, because I just prefer it more. It's just better to me. It's better on the pivot system in my eyes. Next up is a trainer that Balisong Flipping sent me in a box with a bunch of stuff I bought from him, and it's this thing right here. This is just one of those stainless steel trainers. I think this one used to have a spring latch on it, actually, because I've seen these before. You can see the pin starting to peek through now. Yeah, these genuinely kind of suck, but like they're pretty indestructible for what they are. They're just really heavy and not well balanced. Like they're super neutral, but also super heavy. So you can flip it just fine. Like if you have a Balisong that weighs enough, goodness gracious. If you have a Balisong that weighs enough and isn't completely unbalanced, you can usually flip it fine. It just hurts and sucks a little bit. But not much to say about this. Balisong Flipping sent it to me, and I love how so many trainers copy the 42 or the Benchmade Model 40 design on the blade, the Benchmade Model 40. It's just got the hole and two holes, just like the handles. And then next up, we're going to go in order. And actually, no. We have this. I forgot to add this in. This is a handmade Filipino balisong that my great-grandfather had acquired in one of his trips. I put oil on that blade to keep it from rusting. It just likes to rust. I don't know what steel it is. But, yeah, this is a handmade Filipino balisong that my great-grandfather gave to me before he passed. And it was just, he traveled a lot. I think he went to the Philippines and a lot of other countries. And this thing was really tight when I got it. Granted, I don't flip it a whole lot because it's so small. That is not what I wanted to do. Gosh. It's not very sharp either. And in fact, the blade actually comes in contact with the inner channel, so there's not really a point in sharpening it. It's really more of a decoration piece, and it's nice. I like it. But yeah, I try not to flip this one too much because I want to keep it in good shape. And yeah, this is my handmade Filipino balisong from my great-grandfather. So we'll put this in line with the rest of them. Then next up, I completely forgot to add one in there. We're going to add it now. My Bensha Model 42. I don't remember where I got this one. I know it was before, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell. I think I got it before the Barracuda, I think, actually. But I don't flip the 42 a whole bunch, but man, do I love to flip it because I just love the way that it does flip. I love the feel of it, and I love the sound of it. And I really don't want to scratch it on another one of these knives, so I'm not going to flip it a whole lot over the table, but Bensha Model 42, just one of the most iconic balisongs in my opinion. One of the balisongs of the world of balisongs. You can't have balisong history without the 42. It's just in there. It's a part of the history. Just like Benchmade, and I will always love Benchmades. It's just, I don't know. It's not that I always support the pricing or like the knife that they make as far as functionality. I just like Benchmade for the company that they were and what they used to make. And I wish they made stuff like this still, but they don't. Unfortunately, I wish they made stainless steel balisongs like this, but their priorities are not what they used to be, and that's okay. It is what it is. I'm not going to latch this thing open because I want to be gentle in the tang pen. But here we are. And then next up, we're going to go through I unbox all these together, and these are the last ones that I've acquired. So next up is my 62. Now, I've actually been EDCing this 62, and I really like it. I really like EDCing the 62. It's, man, that sounds good, doesn't it? It's been a really good EDC knife. Now, there's oil on it right now, but it's just, I wear gloves, and I get dirty, and, even the sheath gets dirty as I, get oil on it throughout the day, and, it's such a good EDC balisong for my application, and I carry it on my waistband, so if this is my waist, I carry it with the sheath right here. It's not this is where my belt buckle would be, but it's not here, it's right here. It's not covering my right pocket, it's sitting right in the front, just off to the right a little bit, and then I have it in this configuration. So I do that, and I open it in a various number of different ways. Sometimes I just flip it around before I open it. And a lot of times I'm just wanting to get it out quick and put it back away. So sometimes I'll do the cringy two-handed opening if I got if I'm working over something I really don't want to drop it on, or if I just don't think I can open it with flipping. That could have been really messy. Just dropped that thing in my lap, and it went down my legs, and thankfully the tip or the edge did not catch anything, but this thing is still ridiculously sharp. I literally only use it to cut saran wrap for the most part, so I really don't need a knife this sharp, but man, does it make the job so much easier when I do use it. It happens instantly. It's like using a lightsaber to cut butter. It's awesome. And I love the 62. I think it's a terrible replacement for what people wanted in play for the 42. But really, though, that doesn't completely negate the fact that the 62 is a good knife. I think it's a good knife, in my humble opinion. I know I'm a Benchmade fanboy. I just like it. I know they couldn't even grind the tip right on this thing. I mean, like, let's zoom in real quick and look at the tip on this thing. Look at that grind line. That's kind of sad. Like, Benchmade, you can do better. I accidentally pressed end video instead of zoom out. So, anyways, I was saying, Benchmade, you can do better than that. And they certainly could. I'm sure if I sent it to them, be like, hey, what is this? They'd apologize and do something about it. Maybe not replace the blade because they probably don't make anymore. But I am rolling, right? Okay, I am. And then the next one I got was my second Alpha Beast. Now, this one has barrel spacers. And the blades on these two Alpha Beasts were swapped. And I think they just fit each other like this better. I swapped the blades. And they actually flip better like this too. And what's interesting is that the tang pin position must be slightly off because it reset my handle gap on both of them when I swapped over the blades. And it's just, I know that the cups being so close to one another, it's going to wear out faster because there's a hole right next to where the existing cup is, where it's beaten in the titanium. But nevertheless, I think this blade, it's weird because they're both Bowies, but they have different balances to them. Like the different blades, like I swapped them, it completely changed this one, and it completely changed this one as far as the handle, because the handles and the blades should be the same. It's just the spacers that are different. But changing the blades made the handles seem to flip different. It was strange, but I've really liked the neutral feeling of the Alpha Beast. It's kind of how I think of the Replicant, honestly, but I haven't flipped a Replicant in 8 years. It's been 8 years since I flipped a Replicant, so I really can't speak on what a Replicant's like because I haven't flipped one in 8 years. That's crazy. But yeah, this is one of my newest, and we have one more knife after this, and it'll complete the collection. And that is I think it's called the 1701. It's the orange orange 51. And this thing's a lot of fun to flip. It's weird because the handles are like actually more square than the other 51. It's kind of hard to see. See if we can zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, you can definitely see if I put these together that the blue 51 has handles that are just a little more rounded off. Would you focus? Yeah, you get my point. But yeah, this is the last Balisong to the collection. I'm standing up now, so you can kind of expect a little bit better flipping. But yeah, I really like this Balisong, and this one does have the stonewash blade. If you want to compare it to my other 51. I zoom in again. Blue on the left, orange on the right. You can see the difference in the stonewash. But yeah, this is my 2025 Balisong collection. I guess I bumped the camera a little bit too much. It's going up and down. But yeah, this is my 2025 Balisong collection 1,000 subscriber special. I love how the 42's in the center. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 if you count the one that I can't find. And yeah, this is it. This has been I've had a lot of Balisongs over the years. This isn't all of them I've ever owned. If I had all of them in one video, it would be dozens. I missed my Tachyon 3 a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I missed my normal 51, I'm not gonna lie. My 32, I missed that. Yeah, there are Balisongs I miss. I had a squid Triton that was good that I kind of miss a little bit. But yeah, this is my Balisong collection as of now in 2025 November. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.